皆さんこんにちは。Aloha. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today is a part 3 of the lecture on Ichimai Kishomon, or one-sheet document by our founder, Master Hone. So far, we have learned that two sentences, and two sentences is a set sentence. And English, this is neither A or nor B. So these two sentences, the first sentences are negative sentence that Honen Shonin wanted to deny something. And first sentence, and Japanese, in most cases, subject is omitted. So, because we don't know subject yet, so I just say it. So, it is neither kannen no ne. So, it is not meditation, that first sentence. And second sentence is that it is not nenbutsu. And of course, because Honen Shonin preached the nenbutsu as a primary practice, so he didn't deny nenbutsu. So what he wanted to deny was, as a last lecture, adverb. So he denied meditation that was taught by learned men in China and Japan. So he wanted to deny the adverb. What kind of meditation he denied. And second part, what kind of nenbutsu he wanted to abandon. So the real intention is not meditation, not nenbutsu, but the adverb. And so these two adverbs is a long sentence, like 諸越我が町に諸々の知者たちのさたち申される is a adverb, such a long. So from China to Japan, various learned men taught various types of meditation. But it is not type of meditation. So the long adverb he denied. And the second part is また学問をして念の心を悟りて申す It's a long adverb. But this long adverb can be divided into 1, number 1, 学問をして So what kind of 念仏 he denied was number 1, 学問をして that you study. Right? And second part, what kind of 念仏 he denied was 念の心を悟りて申す is a one sentence. 念の心 is heart of 念仏 and 悟りて is to understand and 申す is to recite. So to recite to understand the heart of 念仏. So that one, to recite to understand the heart of 念仏. That one he denied. So the second part is he denied, nenbutsu by studying. That one, no, he said no. That means you don't need to study. And second part, nenbutsu, to recite to understand. By reciting, understanding the heart of nenbutsu. He said no. That means you don't need to understand the heart of nenbutsu. You don't need to understand the heart of nenbutsu. But this means just recite nenbutsu. Just recite. So these two sentences are what he wanted to deny. And within the deny, it's hidden. Something important is hidden that you don't need to understand. And you don't need to understand the heart of nenbutsu. Just recite nenbutsu is hidden. And I think at the last lecture, I said that what is satori. And what is enlightenment? And enlightenment is actually a term in 16th to 17th century that various thinkers and philosophers try to give knowledge and wisdom to people. So age of darkness, but various thinkers, showed the way for the enlightenment. That is the technical term, but usually satori, the concept is satori, is translated as enlightenment. And when we think of what is enlightenment, actually it's confusing, but there is an essay, Emmanuel Kant, his essay is what is enlightenment? So it's confusing, but enlightenment, satori, what is enlightenment? When we think about this, we can divide the word. So as I said, to understand is easily to divide. So enlightenment can be divided in two parts. One is enlightenment. So actually, three. So meant is to make verb now, like manage is a verb, and management is a now. So this is just like now. And en is to make the meaning strong. To make the meaning strong. I forgot what you call it. Intensifier. Intensifier. I think intensifier is a right term that to make the strong meaning of lighten. So lighten is the very basic concept of enlightenment. So today I'm using the light, for this shooting. And light show up everything. And the age of darkness. When we are in darkness, we are in dark room, we cannot see. However, with light, we can see. So, satori is something to light up, the maybe darkness in the heart. You show up to make clear. So maybe to make it clear. Make light. And the kanji divided, this part is came from the shape of heart. Right? And this part is self. So the satori, the kanji satori can be divided into my heart. So my understanding can be the meaning of enlightenment. And interestingly, there is another meaning that this is the answer, it means the answer towards a question. So if that is the case, this means that, answer of the heart, heart of the answer, maybe what it means, this kanji means. And there is another kanji for satori, and this satori so this is satori is to wake up, to awaken, to be awake. So nowadays we use this when we wake up. We use this kanji. So this is wake up and to be awake. Or adjective, awake. That is a meaning. So this is actually exactly the counterpart of what we call Buddha. And Buddha is a Sanskrit word meaning awake. meaning awake. So this kanji is actually awake. It means that enlightenment. And this kanji can be divided in two parts. And one part is to view or to look at. And this is to view something, to look at something is a very basic concept of what is satori. And this, the kanji to look, can be, this part is actually, this kanji came from the shape of the eyes. Yeah? So I'm not good at writing, drawing the picture, but this is eye. So the shape eye becomes this kanji. And this is like looking. So with eye looking is the very concept of what is awake. Awake means to look. So there is a Eightfold Path teaching, and the first teaching is right understanding. And right understanding is sometimes called right view. And right view is just this. So we should run and try to understand the truth. So we open the mind, open the eyes to look at this world correctly. That is what is we call satori, right view. So right view is, I think, very important and very basic concept of Buddhism. And by looking this world correctly, we can understand truly ourselves too. So how do we understand the world? How do we understand the world in better way? So this is what Buddha, what Buddhism want to say. How do you understand the world better? Not correctly, not only correctly, but also, clearly and positive way. In positive way is the most important. So anyway, this view is very important, and in order to view this world correctly, in order to look at the world correctly, what we need is to divide as many elements as possible. So by dividing, the things, by dividing the world and enlighten, we can exactly understand what it is. So the other day I talked about this temple consists of various, many materials, and without each material, this temple cannot be standing here right now. So the fact this temple is standing here and now is thanks to the many, many materials. And actually, not only materials, but also people, like members, volunteers, and we also need, sponsor. The sponsor made this temple. So without these elements, this temple cannot be here. So if we divide material as many units as possible, as many elements as possible, we can understand what is this temple. Like in order for the temple, material, I just say material, and the material may be redwood, cedar, pine, so many parts, roof material, and not only material, but also tools we need. Hammer, impact driver, router, nails, screw, and also we need kanna, people. Carpenters, members, sponsors, volunteers, painter, we needed various people, efforts, and time. So these ones we need. So we list up in detail, like wood, like wood. And because this is an island, Kauai, in order for the wood to come, we need transportation, like plane, boat, and from the airport to here, we need truck, car. So these transportation we need. And if we didn't have transportation airplane, this material never reached. And as a result, we didn't have temple. So this one, plane, boat, truck, car, we all needed. And airplane is a huge aircraft. And airplane also consists of so many parts, so many big one and small material, so many parts. And without these materials, airplane never exist. And as a result, the red would never reach. And maybe, so we divide plane. So this one, we need imagination. What kind of material? So today I don't do, but if you have time, I think it's a very interesting project that what kind of material we can divide so that we list up everything and how many we can try to understand is very interesting project. But today I don't do, but maybe I just write one screw, the small tiny part was needed for airplane to exist. And maybe the screw was made in Japan, and but the original material, iron, came from Australia. So from material to become screw, we also needed airplane. So if we trace back, and and where material, where did material came, right? So by thinking as many elements as possible. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. What I was talking about, I forgot what. Yes. So there are many elements we can find if we list up as many elements as possible. Like for people, one competitor, one person who has 2 parents and 4 grandparents and 8 great-grandparents and 16 great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, right? So in order for one person, just one person to exist, he needed many ancestors. So if we think, in order for this person to exist, what kind of elements we need? Again, we have another infinity. So the more we look for, the small unit, small material, and small elements, and many elements, the more we find just infinity. So it's amazing that we are living in a great, relationship, what we call interdependency. We are interdependent with each other, and what we call infinity. So the relationship is infinity. So originally, Amida Buddha, Amida used Amitabha. So Amida is a Sanskrit word that means you cannot measure. So this relationship, the interdependency, is that exactly you cannot measure, you cannot get, because infinity. So this is just like Amida, that. So when we think of this interdependency, we are just grateful that we are living because of such infinity. such miraculous. We cannot help but, being grateful that we are living. And even the temple, because this is a small temple, however, in order for the small temple, such a small temple exist, we needed infinity. So, what a miracle. We cannot help but just appreciation. So, anyway, so this is, I think, the more we list up, the more we understand infinity. It's just like the way of studying. So this listing up is when we want to know the heart, the psychology, we also list up and divide. And also this could be good for marketing. When we want to know the market, we list up what kind of customers and we divide. So by list up and divide, we get to know more about the object. So enlightenment and any study could be, something in share, something in common. So anyway, the most important part of the first sentence is that Nembutsu, I just say it's not traditional type of meditation. It's not, Nembutsu by studying. It's not Nembutsu by, understanding the heart of Nembutsu. It's not. So the most important part, what Honen Shonin wanted to say was just to recite. Nembutsu. Without studying, without knowing the heart of Nembutsu. So next sentence is a kind of purpose of Jodoshu. So as I said, many times, Japanese sentence, ending part is the most important part because ending part we know that the most important part, whether it's negative or affirmative. And the first two sentences, the ending part is 関連の念にもあらず and 学問をして念の心を悟りて申す念仏にもあらずあらず not. So the next sentence, the ending part is 別の司祭そうらわず別の司祭そうらわず別の司祭そうらわず別の is very special 別の means special and 司祭 means detail so nothing special detailそうらわず means is a negative sentence そうらわず sorrow is positive there is and そうらわず means there is not or there are not so the last sentence 別の司祭そうらわず so you look for the ending part and you know the meaning 別の司祭そうらわず that is the most important part and that means there is no special detail needed there is no special detail needed so that is the main part of the body of the sentence so the first ただ往生極楽のためには so ただ is just 往生 is a key word of 浄土宗往生 so nowadays we just say because everybody know 往生 what is 往生 and literally 往 means to go and 生 means birth or to be born So Ojo means the reverse in the Pure Land. The reverse. Usually, or attain reverse. It is usually translated to attain reverse. So that means, literally means, to go and reborn. To go and reborn is the literal meaning of Ojo. And the next part, where we are going to be reborn. Where we are going to. The next part is Gokuraku. That Gokuraku. So Gokuraku. So we are going to Gokuraku. So the next part is a place. So we are going to be reborn in Gokuraku. And Gokuraku is original word is skabati. Skabati is an original Sanskrit word for Gokuraku, and it means a place. The place of pleasure. And the place of pleasure, the place of fun, the place of happiness. So the place of happiness was translated into Gokuraku. And Goku means ultimate. So ultimate pleasure is a literal meaning of Gokuraku. Gokuraku. So Gokuraku is a ultimate pleasure. Is a literal meaning. So Ojo is to go and born in the place of ultimate pleasure, ultimate fun, happiness. That we are going. And actually, Gokuraku is to follow Gokuraku Jodo is a formal word. So Gokuraku Jodo is an ultimate pleasure, and Jodo is a pure land. So interestingly, our denomination school is called Jodoshu, right? And Jodo means pure land. However, the noun pure land, Jodo, is just common noun. And Gokuraku, on the other hand, Gokuraku is a proper noun, it's a very specific noun for Amida Buddha. So, because there are many Jodo, each Buddha has its own word of Jodo, or pure land. So, that's why Jodo is a common noun. Many Jodo. However, the Gokuraku is a proper noun that only Amida Buddha's word. So, where we are going to be born is Gokuraku is Amida Buddha's. Amida Buddha's pure land that we are going to. So, as we said that interesting, there are many Jodo, like in Eastern world, there are 10 directions of the world, right? So 10 directions of the world, like Eastern world is Ashkubi Butsu, Shumin Sobutsu, Daishumi Butsu, Shumin Kobutsu, Myon Butsu for Buddha. And I forgot. 南方正解、右西合動物、妙門鉱物、大円見物、周密動物、無料精進物、尿税等物、発射種。And 裁縫正解、無料重物、無料装物、無料動物、大好物、大名物、放送物、上皇物、セブンブーダス。And 北方正解。 北方正解右円見物円見物最小物南小物日小物毛明物 So four Buddha and 芸法正解右四四物四四物妙音物妙光物雑魔物報道物自法物 and 情報正解煩悩物宿王物工場物高校物大円見物座敷法見合心物シャーラー重合物法系特別権一切義物 and eight Buddha 浄土 So many Buddhas this is just an example of the Buddha names but each Buddha has its own pure land so 浄土 we call it 浄土浄土 we are going to pure land we are going to pure land but pure land is just a common noun, so we don't know which, but if we combine Gokuraku Jodo is a Amida Buddha's pure land. Amida Buddha's one. We are going to Amida Buddha's pure land. So because the most famous Jodo is actually Gokuraku, so that's why we tend to think Jodo means Amida Buddha's pure land. However, once again, pure land, what we call Jodo, is just common name. And Gokuraku, this is Gokuraku is a place. Gokuraku Jodo is a place at Amida Buddha's pure land. So the first sentence, Tada Ojo Gokuraku no tameni wa. So this one, no tameni wa means in order to. So this is talking about purpose. In order to be born in the pure land of Amida Buddha. Just in order to be born in the pure land of Amida Buddha. Okay? And Tada Ojo Gokuraku no tameni wa. So this is talking about the purpose of Jodoshu. Ojo Gokuraku no tameni wa. Next part. Namu Amida Butsu to 申して疑いなく So, 南無阿弥陀仏と申して is to recite 南無阿弥陀仏 okay? To recite 南無阿弥陀仏 and 疑いなく is no doubt So, 南無阿弥陀仏と申して疑いなく is to recite 南無阿弥陀仏 and with no doubt To recite 南無阿弥陀仏 and with no doubt That is the meaning of ただ往生極楽のためには And next part 南無阿弥陀仏と申して疑いなく And the next part is another 往生 yeah? 往生するぞ往生するぞと思いとりて申す他には So 往生するぞ is I'm going to This is very strong will So, zo is actually kakikodo next to, but I just make it simple. するぞ is like 勉強するぞ is I'm going to study. And diet するぞ is I'm going to work for diet. I'm going to lose my weight. So するぞ往生するぞ is I'm going to be reborn. I'm going to go to the pure land of Amida Buddha. So this is strong will. ちょっと思いとりて申す思いとりて申す生身陀仏と申して疑いなく往生するぞと思いとりて申す他には So 思いとりて is to understand or to get 他には is accept So in the first sorry this is I'm not good at explanation a little confusing sorry But the first main structure comes in the end. So, 別の司祭そうらわず。So, 法然上に said, 別の司祭そうらわず is there is no special detail needed. And except 他には思いとりて申す他には means, except something. So, this sentence right now except actually this except is 他には 別の司祭そうらわず there is no special detail needed. So, what is the exception? So, there is no special detail needed. So, and the first sentence is in order to born, in order to ojo, attain ojo. In order to be born in the Pure Land of Amida Buddha, there is no special detail needed except something. And what is exception is that is Namu Amida Butsu to moshite, and the first exception is Namu Amida Butsu to moshite is to recite Namu Amida. And second, so just next. 疑いなく申して疑いなく is no doubt. 往生するぞと思い取りて申す。そう、往生するぞ。I'm going to be reborn in the pure land. と思い取りて申す。そう、思い取りて is to understand and 申す。The first part, you don't need to understand the heart of Nembutsu, but this part is very important because to understand, this is affirmative. To understand that I'm going to be reborn into the pure land. So in the first part, Honen Shonin said, you don't need to understand the heart of Nembutsu, but next part, you need to understand. You need to understand that you are going to be reborn into the pure land. So that one. 思い取りて申す、南無阿弥陀仏と申して疑いなく往生する。往生するぞ。往生するぞ。往生するぞと思い取りて to understand 往生 and 申す。So to recite. And next part is just opposite of the second sentence. To recite, to understand. You are going to Ojo. To attain Ojo. So, the first sentence, you don't need to understand the heart of Nembutsu, but the third sentence, these three, except there is no special detail needed. So that means these three expressions are very important, significant. So what kind of exception is 南無阿弥陀仏と申して、南無阿弥陀仏と申して、南無阿弥陀仏と申して、ちゃんと recite 南無阿弥陀仏。And 疑いなく、no doubt. And 南無阿弥陀仏、往生するぞと。往生、I'm going to be reborn. 思い取りで to understand. 申す、思い取りで申す exception. 他には別の司祭僧らは there is no special detail needed. So, one more time. In order to attain Ojo, in order to be born in the pure land of Amida Buddha, Gokuraku, we are not going to the pure land of medicine Buddha. We are just going to be reborn in the pure land of Amida Buddha, which is called Gokuraku and Sanskrit Skabati. So, in order to attain Ojo at Skabati or Gokuraku, there is no special needed. 別の司祭そうらわず it's an ending part. And 他には except one 南無阿弥陀仏と申して is to recite 南無阿弥陀仏 and 疑いなく no doubt and number three and 南無往生するぞと往生する I'm going to be reborn into the world を思い取りで understand 申す to recite 他には別の司祭そうらわず So 念仏 no doubt and to understand that I'm going to live on. These three things are very important that in order to attain Ojo. That is, I think, one of the most important parts of Ichimai Kishomon. Because Jodoshu, we say Jodoshu, right? Jodoshu is a pure, usually pure land. But the formal name of Jodoshu is 称名念仏西方極楽浄土往生宗 So the formal name of 浄土宗 is 称名念仏西方極楽浄土往生宗 and we just omit these long sentences 浄土宗 So this long name of the denomination indicates the purpose. What is the purpose and what is the practice and where are we going? So these three are included in the long sentence of the name of the denomination. 称名念仏西方極楽浄土往生宗 And 称名 is a right practice of to recite Namamida Butsu. So we check it later, but just over here right now, Shomyo is to recite, and Nenbutsu is Namamida Butsu. So Shomyo is to make it loud, to make it voice, to say Namamida Butsu. So to say Namamida Butsu, and Saiho is Western world, Western. So Saiho, Sai is west, and Fo is a direction. So direction of west, and Gokuraku, Skabati is Amida Buddha's pure land, and Jodo, Saiho Goku. So Saiho Gokuraku Jodo is a formal name of Amida Buddha's pure land. Amida Buddha's pure land is Saiho Gokuraku Jodo. Saiho is a western Amida Buddha's pure land. And then Ojo Shu. Ojo is to attain Ojo is to go and reborn into the pure land or Amida Buddha. So by reciting, by chanting Namu Amida Butsu, we are going to be reborn in the Saiho Gokuraku Jodo. So that explains what is Jodo Shu. So anyway, next part is little complicated. So the next part is more difficult because we have Sanjin and Shishu. The technical terms are coming. So let's take a pause and thank you very much for watching this YouTube video. Thank you.